The true meaning of enlightenment, growing the soul through knowledge and experience. Question. We are always feeling and experiencing many things in life. Sometimes we solidify our learning through GONG, right teachings, and at other times through reading books or listening to other lectures. My question is this: does our enlightenment only remain when we put it into practice? Or can it also be maintained simply by revisiting past lectures? For instance, as you have said before, we should go back and study old lectures because we will hear new things according to our current spiritual foundation. Is this because we are newly discovering things we had missed before due to our former level? Or is it a way to recall what already exists within us, even if we haven't actively practiced it? Answer: there are many ways to reach enlightenment. Many people think enlightenment is the end goal, but in truth, enlightenment is just the beginning. Once you truly understand what enlightenment is, you'll realize it's merely the start. Can a person begin without enlightenment? No, without enlightenment, one cannot truly begin. That's why we strive to gain knowledge. As we accumulate knowledge, we begin to awaken to certain truths, and that is the starting point. Trying to start without any realization means you're wandering without direction. This is why theoretical knowledge is important. By accumulating theory, we build up mass within our soul, and when the right environment arises, a physical shift occurs. This is when realization appears. It may seem like the environment caused the awakening, but in fact, it is the accumulation of knowledge and the arising of a physical shift that allows us to see it clearly. So how important is learning? Very important, because it can initiate enlightenment. Environments always come to us. Energies are always sent our way, but if we are unaware, we simply pass them by without absorbing anything. It's not that we lack opportunities, it's that we don't have the capacity to process them. That's why life doesn't change much. We aren't able to handle the opportunities given to us. However, as we receive teachings and accumulate them, we begin to see the environments we're given more clearly. We start to perceive and manage them. As we handle these well, our lives begin to change. Environments are gifts from God, constantly given to humans. No person is exempt from this. But if we lack the ability to deal with them, life becomes difficult. If we handle them well, life becomes radiant. Why don't we have the ability to handle them? Because we haven't been properly equipped. If our soul lacks sufficient mass, we cannot properly utilize or manage the situations given to us. That's why we must grow our soul's mass. And to do that, we must know how to absorb many things. Through absorption, the soul grows. The development of the brain is a function of the body, but true growth comes from the soul. Acquiring knowledge and learning truthfully is like providing daily nourishment to the soul. Humans are a combination of body and soul. If we dig deeper, we'll discover that the soul itself is divine. It is God. Before entering the human body, the soul is God. Once it unites with the body, we call it a human being. Why do souls come into human bodies? Because they lack the mass to properly operate the laws of nature. They come into human form to absorb experiences and grow. This is the purpose of life. Learning is that important. Our essence is to learn. Eating isn't the essence. Eating is for sustaining the body. The body must exist for the soul to absorb and grow through experience. Knowledge is food for the soul. In the age after heaven, post-heaven era, if you don't know yourself, you won't understand the world. To study in this superior age, you must start by knowing yourself. Who are you? You are a divine being, a soul. The body is not the true self, it's just a vessel. The soul resides within the body and activates through it. If the soul and body separate, growth can no longer happen. The soul must be in a human body to gain discernment and development. That's why we come into this world in human form. Earth is a school for nurturing divine beings. After the creation of nature and the universe, billions of years were spent preparing the earth. The final step in that cosmic construction was creating a human body capable of housing the soul. All of this was done to create a suitable vessel for the divine soul. When you understand this, you'll realize we are not insignificant beings. We are the masters of the universe. The energy of nature that holds us is God, and our bodies are God's cells. There is nothing that is not precious. God doesn't ignore us even when we make mistakes, because we are part of God. We don't even need to plead with God to be looked after. Our souls are eternal and indestructible. They are the cells of the universe. If these souls lack mass, the cosmic operation becomes flawed. A flaw in the universe disrupts the order of creation. That's why souls must grow and become complete to restore the original order of the universe. That's why we're here on Earth. This may seem vast, but I'm explaining it to help you understand that enlightenment is when a physical shift, mali, occurs in the soul. It is not just a mental realization. It's not something remembered in the brain, but something accumulated within the soul. As the soul accumulates quality knowledge, the mass increases, and when it reaches a certain point, a physical shift takes place. This is enlightenment, and through that, your life starts to change. You begin to see the world differently. That's why humans, while still in a body, can attain a level close to the divine. Enlightenment doesn't happen just because you want it. It arises naturally when enough high-quality knowledge is accumulated. The physical shifts occur according to the soul's mass, and those shifts result in breakthroughs. Those are the moments of enlightenment. Enlightenment is the beginning, not the end. Many people think enlightenment is the final goal, but true enlightenment is just the beginning of living the right way. Without enlightenment, we can't truly start. That's why gaining knowledge and understanding is essential. Enlightenment comes from accumulated understanding, not just experience. It's not just about experiencing things. When we absorb enough meaningful knowledge, our soul reaches a certain mass, and a shift, called physical reaction, or muli, happens. That's when we truly become enlightened. Opportunities are always around us, but we often miss them. The universe is constantly sending us energy and learning opportunities, but if we are not ready, we fail to notice or handle them, and so we miss the chance to grow. True growth is the growth of the soul. Humans are made of a body and a soul. The body is just a tool, and the soul is the real me. The soul is a part of God and never dies. We are born as humans because our souls need to gain strength and grow through life's experiences. Knowledge is food for the soul. Learning, listening to teachings, and reading books all feed the soul. The stronger the soul, the better we can handle life situations, and the more our life improves. Earth is a school for training divine beings. We are on Earth to train and grow our souls. The universe spent billions of years preparing for human life, so we can understand that humans are not insignificant. We are powerful and meaningful. Conclusion. Enlightenment can't be forced. It happens naturally. You cannot try to be enlightened. When you fill your soul with quality knowledge, a shift will naturally happen. That is true enlightenment, and it becomes the moment when your life begins to transform. And I wrote the story based on the above article, Moon Library. When the world falls asleep and the silver moonlight quietly covers the town, somewhere in the sky, a secret library opens its doors. It's called the Moon Library. But this isn't just a place for reading books. It's a place where souls come to grow by feeding on knowledge. One night, a 14-year-old boy named Luca found himself inside that dreamlike place. As he opened the glowing door, books fluttered like wings, and a quiet librarian guided him gently through the aisles. "This is a school for your real self," the librarian whispered. "You've come here seeking enlightenment, haven't you?" "Enlightenment? What is that?" Luca asked. "It's the moment when you truly begin to live, but it can't be forced. It arrives only when your soul has gathered enough light, enough truth and understanding to let it bloom on its own." The library held strange and beautiful books. How to handle sadness, when the world speaks in silence, the lessons you miss when you rush, food for a hungry soul. As Luca read them, he began to understand. The world had always been whispering to him, in his mother's tired eyes, in the silence of a friend walking away, in the still gaze of a stray cat. He had just never been quiet enough to hear it. One night, the librarian brought him one last book. Its cover read, "Who are you?" "This one seems hard," Luca hesitated. "That's why it's the most important," the librarian smiled. "Everything you've learned was preparing you to answer this question. You are not your body. You are a soul, a shimmering piece of the universe. Before your soul entered this body, it was part of the divine. You are still that light." Luca closed his eyes and looked inward. He saw warmth and peace, and all the knowledge he had absorbed, now glowing like constellations in the night sky within him. When he opened his eyes, he was back in his room. From that day on, Luca lived a little differently. He paused before getting angry. He stopped to notice the fall of a leaf. Sometimes he would look at the sky and whisper, "Is there something for me to learn today?" Years later, as an adult, Luca met a boy who seemed lost, just as he had once been. "Enlightenment doesn't come because you chase it," he told the boy. It comes when you quietly watch, listen, and grow. One day your soul will simply say, "Now is the time," and something inside will light up. The boy nodded. Luca smiled, knowing that somewhere that night, another soul might be visiting the Moon Library. Authors note, like Luca, we are all students in the vast library called Earth. Every moment, spoken or silent, joyful or painful, offers us a lesson, and one day your soul will bloom quietly with the light of its own understanding.